Live with CDP Sports Talk, a weekly sports and entertainment podcast sponsored by Barry Cullen Chevrolet. Live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and LinkedIn. And on audio via Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify, Anchor FM, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Radio Public, and TuneIn. Now, here's your host, Chris Palme.
Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to season 12, episode 25, overall 630 of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, brought to you by Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership, located at 905 Woodlawn Road West in the Guelph Auto Mall. Check out their website, Barry Cullen on their own GM vehicles, along with their great selection of all-electric vehicles and Cadillac vehicles as well. You can call the dealership at 519-824-0210. That's 519-824-0210, and tell them Chris Palme sent you. Or you can email the dealership at info@barrycullen.com. Barry Cullen Chevrolet has been family-run and operated here in the city of Guelph since 1969. I hope everyone's doing well on this Friday, December 5th, 2025. This is my 10th show with 10 different guests. Unbelievable. I've been very lucky to have 10 shows in 10 days with 10 different guests, and I'm looking forward to my guest today as well. And before we bring on our guest, I want to give a shout out to the Business Education Partnership of Waterloo Region. I did another public speaking engagement with them this Wednesday at a local high school in Kitchener, and I want to say thank you to Jennifer and everybody at the Business Education Partnership of Waterloo Region, where I go into high schools once a month in the Kitchener-Waterloo area and talk about the importance of finding a career, education in the classroom and outside the classroom, and a little bit about my story as well. And I have a guest with a special story on today. She is from the United Kingdom, or known as the UK, and her name is Kedisha Taitt. She is a women's transformation coach and the founder of Igniting Dreams Coaching. And we're going to bring her on right now from the United Kingdom. Good afternoon, Kedisha. How are you?
Good afternoon. I am fantastic. Thank you so much for having me here today.
Is this your first Canadian podcast show you've been on?
It is. And the thing is, I have 2 clients in Canada that I coach. So it works.
This technology is really amazing. It really does kind of compress the world down, doesn't it?
Yes, it definitely does. It just gives us so much opportunities to connect, and it removes those boundaries and blockers that perhaps would have meant that we have to stay in the country we're in. So it's fantastic. I love it.
How are things in your part of the world in the United Kingdom? And are you getting excited for holiday season coming up?
Yeah, I'm getting excited. My daughter is home from New York next week. So I'm really looking forward to seeing her. I've not seen her for 3 months. And yeah, I'm just going to get the tree up this weekend. I'm a little bit late. She wants to see the tree when she gets home. And I'm looking forward to a few weeks of rest and recoup, which is always important.
I've never been to the UK. What is it like, the United Kingdom? And for someone who's never visited there, why should they consider coming down there?
The UK is amazing for if you're into culture and history. There is a lot of, it's multicultural, but depending on the city that you go to, you may find more of a mix than in some cities. I think, I wouldn't say come for the weather, but the people are definitely warm once you get to know them. So come visit. There's lots to see, lots to celebrate. It's totally different. It's probably, I don't know, I've not been to Canada, so I can't compare. It's definitely different from the US, but it's worth having a look at. It's worth coming and visiting the castles. If you're into the monarch, there's lots of that to see. The green spaces. I live in the country, so I love dog walking for long hours and stuff like that. So there's lots to see.
Dogs are number one, by the way, and I don't have a dog currently, but I volunteer at a local humane society, so I
Mm,
walk dogs down there twice a week that are looking for to be adopted into homes. So dogs, anyone that likes dogs, a good person to me. And you know what? I live in a city here called Guelph. Guelph, Ontario. It's about an hour from Toronto. It's
mm.
called the Royal City. It's about 160,000 people, but it used to be like a town, and now it's a city. And there are a lot of advantages to living in the country compared to city life these
Oh
days.
yeah, definitely. I lived in the city. I lived in London. I lived another place called Nottingham. It's not as like London. And I think just to give you a quote from my daughter, when she moved to London, because she studies in London, and she said, "Mom, London is an assault on the senses." Because it is so busy. And so when she comes home, it's just rest, relax, reset. So it's totally different. Love both of them, love having the option to go into the city, but I love coming home and just it slows things down a bit.
Canada's sort of like the UK as well. We're very diverse, multicultural, and we do have our four seasons, our winter, springs, fall, and
Yeah.
summers. So we have a little bit of everything here weather-wise, but I
Mhm.
think both countries are similar. And I've never been on an airplane yet, so if I ever do get on an airplane, I think the United Kingdom would be one of the places I'd go to.
Most definitely. And when you come, let me know because I can get you to take a dog walk with me.
Dogs are good. What's the name of your dog and what breed?
Oh, I have two beautiful dogs. I've got a black lab and a brown lab, Ovi and Boomy.
Obi and Boomy.
Ovi,
Wow.
Ovie.
Ovi.
Oh, yeah,
Ovi.
Ovi and Boomy. And Boomy is the brown lab, and the name says it all. He's
Any
crazy.
any plan for a third dog? Any plans
No,
for a third
no,
dog?
no.
No?
The plan was for one dog, and I actually dreamt up Boomy. Boomy is the brother of Ovi. His family was no longer able to have him because they broke up, and so I managed to get him. So they're brothers, and it was just a lucky thing that I managed to dream him up. I always wanted a brown lab.
Having dogs or cats or pets, it's a full-time job too. It's like being a parent again.
It is. And I wouldn't, my daughter wanted a dog from she was small, but at the time I was a working mom, not at home as much. So we got Ovi just when the pandemic hit, because we had to wait to pick him up because of the pandemic. Because at that time I was working more from home. I knew long term I would be working more from home because I work for myself and I could give that dog the care and the attention, right? The walks and all of that. So that's why I eventually, even though my daughter, Mom, did you get them because you know I was leaving home? I said, no, you're not a replacement. I just got them because it was the right time in my life to be able to afford and to look after them.
If you ever get a third dog, you'll have to name them after me, CDP,
CCP.
or Canada.
I'll definitely have to consider that. If I get a third dog, I swear my husband will definitely have something to say. He didn't want dogs, but he will not
Yeah.
be without them right now.
No, dogs are number one. And after I'm done with you today on our show, I'm going down to the local humane society to walk a couple dogs. And I wish I could adopt them all, but I take them for good walks and I fundraise for them as well. They do really good
Yeah,
work down there getting these dogs and cats into good homes with good families. So I always tell people adopt, don't shop if you can.
exactly. And isn't that such a lovely option that you have that you don't have a dog that you own, but you're able to give that time.
Yes,
And the benefits of that dog walk after a long week or a day, it's
it
amazing.
helps.
Yeah,
It helps the dog and it helps the person. It's a
yes,
win-win for everybody.
definitely, definitely.
And walking a dog reduces anxiety as well.
It does. It does. Always say to people that my dogs, I think they know more about me than anybody else because I have conversations with
Yeah,
myself or I talk about what's on my mind and just
yeah,
like and I'm sure they look at me sometimes
yeah.
and think, what is wrong with her?
You mentioned the pandemic. We had the pandemic here in Canada too, as worldwide. But a lot of the guests I've talked to, they've switched careers during the pandemic. It seems like a lot of people made a lot of changes in 2020 when all this was going on.
Yeah, a lot of changes. I think the change for me in the pandemic was I did work a lot through the pandemic because universities needed the support to be the ones that didn't transition to the work from home, hybrid working type of thing. So I did a lot of work for universities, but I also did a lot of investment, because what the pandemic did was bring to the forefront of my mind that if you can't work, or being able to have income from other sources was important. So I started my property portfolio during the pandemic. It's crazy, but true.
And recently, I had a real estate agent on yesterday, and a couple
Yes.
weeks ago, I had a financial money advisor on my show as well. So if you watch my talk shows, I have very diverse topics and guests as well.
Yeah, I've been watching some of them, and hopefully we can link up and share, and just I think the connections are always good. So I've been watching and seeing. I work with one of my clients is a lawyer in Canada, and she's into she does massive investments and being a global citizen, which means owning assets in different countries. So I'm looking forward to uh, exploring more in Canada. So you never know, when I'm nipping over, I'll pop by and let you and see you.
Definitely. And I've gone from working in security for a big corporation to now being self-employed. So I'm learning to be an entrepreneur. I'm learning to
Yes.
be a salesperson, and also social media as well. So I have a hat on, Skechers, but I literally wear 9 or 10 different hats besides the hat on my hair.
Oh yes, it does, and it doesn't even when you have support and you have a team,
Yeah.
because you are the CEO.
I'm the only one. I wear all the hats.
Yeah, so yeah, and I get that, because it was later in my career I was able to kind of tap into support. But yes, I understand the different hats, and it takes a lot to be an entrepreneur. It takes a lot to be a CEO of your own life, but it is so worth it.
One stereotype I get is, oh, you work from home. Oh, it must be nice. And I'm like, I put in more work doing this at home than I did in my corporate job doing security in a building.
Exactly, because you don't get to hand off anything to anyone. You are
No,
it. And you're responsible for making it all work and come together. You have the idea, and you're responsible for bringing the idea to life. It's a lot of work, but yes, that's it.
100%.
Yeah.
By the way, in the background, I couldn't find your logo, so I put in something that would apply to you coming on our show today. So I put into in the background, no more shrinking.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I should have sent you my logo. My apologies for that.
Next time you come on, we'll put it on. But I just thought this is one of the subjects we are going to talk about, so I thought I'd put that on there as well.
No problem. That's fine. That works. So, where do we go from here?
Can you tell our audience a little bit about yourself, where you attended school, and did you have any early influences and mentors?
Oh, definitely. So, my name is Kedisha Taitt. I'm a mom, wife, an entrepreneur. Today, I'm a transformational coach. I help women see their full potential and create lives that's filled with realized dreams, not just dreams, realized dreams. I was born in Jamaica to my mom, and my mom was a teenager, 17. And I went to school in Kingston, school called Excelsior. Excelsior High was my last school that I went to. That's where I got my CXCs slash GCSEs. I don't know what they call them in Canada. And then I moved to the UK when I was 17. My dad was born in the UK, and that was the plan for my life, that after I finish growing up, teenage years with my mom, that I would move to the UK with my dad. Influences. I think before I get to external mentors, influences, my biggest mentor influence was my mom. And the reason for that was my mom was a 17-year-old girl with no parents' love, no parents to show her how to be a parent herself. Yet she made it her life job to ensure she was the best parent to myself and my brother. She ensured that we had education, which I think is one of the greatest gifts, apart from keeping your kids alive and safe, that any parent can give to their children. My mom didn't have money. We grew up in probably what could be called low income family. But she made sure we had education. And I believe that I saw education as a way to transform my life, a stepping stone to explore, to be better, to learn, to become who I dreamt of. And that's exactly what I went on to do. Then when you passed my mom, I remember 11 years old, and I don't even know why this was so impactful. I remember I was going through a time where I was feeling the status, I was feeling the understanding where we placed in life as a family, right? And I was stood in church and I didn't feel like anybody saw me. But I remember going home and I was watching Oprah. Oprah Winfrey was on my television, and I loved the way she spoke and inspired, and she made me feel like I could be more than what my current situation was showing me that I could be. And I held on to that, like holding on for dear life. And I thought one day I want to be a speaker just like Oprah. And I held on to that. Along the way, I forgot about that for a little bit. I put it to the side because life happens, as you know. There is a gap between your dream and the life you're living and the status you're at the moment. And I forgot about it a little bit, trying to make way in society. But then I got reminded just after 2007, which I'll tell you about. I had a change in my life, and it meant that it was time to focus on me, find out what I wanted to do, and make sure I was living a life of purpose. And that brought me back to that 11-year-old girl who wanted to speak and coach and empower women to be their best selves.
Wow, at 11. Wow.
Yeah.
That's what I love about the show, the storytelling aspect. And in my case, I switched careers when I was 47, and I've seen people switch careers in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s as well. I wanted to ask you this too. You brought Jamaica up. You were from Jamaica originally, Kingston. I've never been there, and that's somewhere I'd like to go. How much of an adjustment was it coming from Jamaica to the UK at the age of 17? Because I know moving when I was younger could be tough.
It was tough. As much as family in Jamaica were my family that I came from was predominantly working class, probably called poor. My mom was a domestic helper. She worked for other people in their home, taking care of their children, washing their clothes to feed us. And then my mom was also an entrepreneur. She would do anything else, sell, go to the country, get fruits and veg, come back to the city and sell it, right? She made sure we had what we needed. And so it was an adjustment coming to the UK because Jamaica was family. There was love. You felt protected, even though you didn't have the money sometimes, and you're probably sharing one meal amongst, I always made sure I'm the eldest for my mom, and I've got four brothers. So I was always making sure they are fed. That's the kind of unity. And so then I came to the UK, and it's an absolute different platform. And this is no shade on either side of my family. My dad was in a marriage that was a little bit rocky, and I felt unwanted. I didn't have anyone to show me around. I was just expected to, even though I had loads of family here, uncles, aunties, I was just expected to know at 17, different culture, figure it out. And there was one point where I found myself on the street because of a disagreement between my dad and his partner at the time. And I found myself on the street. So I decided to walk up and down the street until morning, didn't understand what I was doing. And the police officer stopped me, and he says, "Do you know the danger of walking up on this street? I now understand that you had ladies of the night, forgive me for bringing that up, on that street, but I didn't know." And he said, "You're in danger because somebody could think that's what you're doing." And he took me back home, knock on the door, and my dad and let me in the house. And from that day forward, I decided I needed to look after me. And my mom often asked me, "Why didn't you call me and come home?" I said, "Mom, what was the choice? Come home, cry, and tell you what happened, or I had to decide that I had to create a life for myself." And so I went out, I rented somewhere. My dad gave me deposit for renting somewhere, and I started working multiple jobs. and started from there to create the life that I wanted, because I realized nobody was coming to save me. Nobody was going to do it for me. I wasn't somebody that did the blame game. So that wasn't a thing for me. Like, you're responsible. No, I thought I'm responsible for me. And that's when I started to create my life, work, pay my way. And that's another story altogether. Yeah.
That's an amazing story. And the thing is, too, a lot of us, and probably myself in the past, played the victim card. And also, too, when you're in tough times or having a difficult time in your life, you can't always rely on others to help you out. You have to help yourself before you
Yeah.
can help others. And I have a viewer watching from Canada. His name is Evan, and he wants to say hello to you and myself as well. Evan, if you have any questions for Kedisha, please feel free to put them in the comments section as well. And that's what I love about doing the show, Kedisha, is the storytelling and learning from my guests. Now, besides your mother, who had a big impact on you, and Oprah Winfield, if I got it, Winfrey.
Oprah Winfrey.
Yeah, free. Yeah, sorry, pardon me. Were there any other influences in your life when you were younger?
Yeah, I think I have this passion. Listen, I have loads of male role models. I remember when I was growing up, there was this reverend at my church, and he made it his sole job to make sure I went to summer camp. He paid for the whole thing so I could go to summer camp every year. I didn't have to think about it. He just said, "It's okay. I'm going to do this." And it was my break from everything. I got to go to summer camp for 2 weeks and just be a kid. And that was amazing. But the women in my life, I was having this conversation with one of my cousins yesterday, 3-hour conversation we had. And the women in my life have been the greatest motivation because they will not give up. When I was growing up, I watched my aunt, who is like the matriarch of the family. She's 80 something now. All her daughters, they all played a different role in my life, whether that was the caretaker, whether that was the person that did my hair, whether that was the person that made sure I had something to wear. I remember I didn't have a Red Cross uniform, which is a white skirt and top and the Red Cross tie. When I was growing up, I was in the Red Cross. Didn't have money. But my mom had a white sheet and it had all these little roll things on it. You know, you got to scrape them off. And my cousin was learning to sew at the time. And I took the sheet to my cousin Fiona and I said, "Fiona, I need to go to my Red Cross. It was an event tomorrow." And she made me a uniform out of this old tatty sheet. I didn't care. I showed up. All the kids were looking at me. My uniform wasn't as white as theirs. It wasn't great, but I was on that stage. I collected my certificate and I went home. Job done. And I think from early on, I learned to use a situation that I had to my advantage, never seeing myself as less than, but showing up regardless, because in that moment, that what was I had, that was what I could afford. And I think that has really stayed with me, the impact the women played in my life. Strong, courageous. They will show up for you, and they were bold. And I love that, and I cherish that.
Evan had another question for you. He wants to know, when you say summer camp, was this overnight experience?
Yes, so it was 2 weeks. It was a Christian camp with all people of all the same age. So it was overnight. You had camp beds, well, not camping as in tents. You had dormitories, and you had a set rota of events and activities that you would do. So it was a church event, but it was over 2 weeks sleepover. Yeah, like a big sleepover.
Kedisha, can you talk a little bit about I Will Not Shrink and the end of playing small as women?
Absolutely, absolutely. The time for living unfulfilled life is over, is what I tell my clients. Just as the time for shrinking and playing small is over. There's a quote that I love from Marianne Williamson, and she says, "Your playing small does not serve the world." For years, I tried to stay unnoticed. When people looked at me, I thought there was something wrong with me. That's how I felt. I didn't think they looked at me because I stood out. I automatically thought something was wrong with me. I grew up in certain circumstances being told, "You talk too much," or "You're too much." And then now, later on in life, I realized the very thing I was told I do too much is actually my superpower. Shrinking all the way is making ourselves smaller, downplaying our achievements, staying silent, saying it's fine when it's not. The message we're receiving is you talk too much, you talk too loud, you're too emotional, you're too much, constantly. And it has an impact, it eats away at you. You see, we don't get up and shrink by a choice like I'm deciding to be small. It's the little things that people are saying to you. And most times it's from the people that mean a lot to you. You want to impress your friends at school, it's from somebody in your family that you look up to. And as a child, when you say stuff to a child, they believe it. And it carries on as an underlying limitation in their life. But I remember Audre Lorde said, I am not free while any woman is unfree, even when the shackles are very different from my own. I love that quote because there is somebody that's looking at me. If Oprah played small, she wouldn't have been somebody that I look up to. She wouldn't have given me the hope if she was playing small. But because she played big and she said, this is the life I wanted, I was able to see her and think, I would love that. When we shrink, we're not doing it just to ourselves. We're teaching other little girls, we're teaching other women, even our sons, we are telling them to do the same. And that's not what we're about. I want to tell you a story about myself. I mentioned it earlier. In 2007, bearing in mind I came to the UK at 17, this was 1999, worked my way up, moved from London to a place called Nottingham. And I managed by 2007 to have started, no, I'd ran my business for about 3 years until then. I wasn't aware of the what was coming. At that time, there was a problem with the economy that was coming that I didn't see because I was wearing so many hats. I was in the business, not with the bird's eye view. As a result of that, after running my business for 3 years, I had to close it down. I was bankrupt emotionally, physically burnt out, mentally exhausted, and financially bankrupt. Losing it all was painful. It was humiliating because I thought at this time I needed to save all the women that had really helped me to be who I am. But this event forced me to ask what beliefs brought me here. And this is when I started looking at all the little things that I didn't realize was impacting how I showed up. Why did I think I had to overgive to be worthy? And by looking at these things, I realized I was shrinking myself. And that decision to work on me and face my limiting beliefs changed my life and has brought me here today. After all of that, in the midst of that, I couldn't work. It was a recession. I'd lost my business. I was broke. So I decided to go to university. So I went and did my law degree. But I didn't take part fully. And you know why? Not because I had nothing to say, but because I was still hiding behind the shame, labels I carried from being bankrupt, from feeling broken marriage. I felt like a failure. And with those labels, I told myself, of course, you could never be a lawyer. So I shrank some more. And I didn't realize at the time that even my decision not to pursue the practice of law was because of these limiting beliefs. Brené Brown said, you can choose courage or you can choose comfort, but you cannot have both. And looking back, I now realize that I chose comfort, the comfort of invisibility. I shrank, and it was killing who I really was. But we fast forward to 2012. And I'm in my master's degree. I'm doing my master's degree in business. And I made a promise that I'm going to show up fully because my first university experience was marred with shame, was feeling unworthy. And so I shrink, never showed up, only showed up when I needed to, only spoke when I needed to. This time I'm not hiding. I'll take part fully. And guess what happened? In one class, I was actively contributing and sharing my opinions. And guess what the lecturer said to me? Kedisha, can you not take part in this bit so others can speak? You've spoken enough. But the others weren't raising their hands. They didn't want to speak. They were just being probably what I was doing before, shrinking and hiding. And
I can
somehow,
relate. I can relate.
yeah, but somehow it became my fault for actually showing up. But look what I did in this moment, because I remember all the years of being told you talk too much. So I rose up and I said, no, no, I will not shrink. So those who don't even want to shine, shine. I'm not stopping them. The opportunity is there for them if they want to take it. And I don't have to not participate for them to do so. I don't have to be less for them to be involved. And I resent you implying that I need to do that. And so that was the last day I let anyone get away with shaming me for my voice. Would you believe that up until 2021, I hated the sound of my voice?
Wow. I thought I was the only one.
Upsets me a little bit to even think that I allowed and entertained that. I hated, I would shudder. I wouldn't listen to recordings of myself because of all of that limiting belief, all of being told you're not enough. And I realized shrinking isn't a personality flaw, it's a learned survival strategy. We're taught to be nice, not honest, be polite, not powerful, be a good girl, not a whole woman. Don't upset the status quo. There's a quote from Shimamanda, I think, Adichie, and she says, we teach girls to shrink themselves. And as you're expressing it, clearly something you experience as well, to make themselves smaller. You should aim to be successful, but not too successful. Otherwise, you will threaten everyone else. And we internalize these rules. Don't outshine, don't intimidate, don't dream big. But we come back to Oprah Winfrey, one of my favorites. You are not here to shrink down to less, but to blossom into more of who you really are. So, Chris, I'm telling you that you are not here to shrink. What you've done so far for when you divorced your work and started this, it's because you are here to blossom into more of who you really are. And I'm so grateful that you chose to do that, because if you didn't, I wouldn't be here with you today.
It hasn't been an easy road, but this is a passion of mine. And for many years, I did shrink and play small, and I let other people belittle me. I wanted to ask you about belittling, and I was always told you can't do this, you can't do that. And the last 6 years, I've reinvented myself, and I believe in what I'm doing, and I found my passion. And you got to block out the noise. If you don't believe in what you're doing and believe in yourself, nobody else will as well. And Evan's got a really good question for you here too.
Yes.
Evan wants to ask you, so with helping women rebuild their lives, did you go into jails and speak with them yet?
No, I don't go into jails and speak to women. That's not something that I've done yet. But what I've done is everyday women like myself who are showing up in the workplace and they're feeling this uneasiness. I was speaking to someone last week and she says, I don't, she's been doing this job for 23 years, but she feels like it's somebody else that keeps showing up because it's not what she really loves. Why? Because she keeps telling herself, wait until this is ready, wait until the kids grow up, wait until this, you've got to pay the mortgage. All the things that we tell ourselves, and we don't show up as our best selves, whilst the real us, the real you is dying inside. And we forget that actually, if you show up and you show people who you really are, you will attract everything that's in alignment with you. And you will actually get more out of life. Your kids will be happier. Your partners, your friends will be happier because they can see that you're shrinking. They can see that you're accepting less than. They can see that you're navigating this world playing small just to get by. And
And this,
so, yeah,
go
go
ahead.
on.
No, go ahead.
And so, this noticing what's happening to you, and I help these women, it's women that are in professional careers, women that have lost, like me, that went through divorce, probably lost everything, trying to rebuild their life. And hopefully, one day, going into the prisons will be part of my journey.
Any plans to write a book or do your own podcast show in the future?
Absolutely. I actually have podcasts. I'm going to admit that I'm going to be posting, and I'm definitely putting them out there before December because it was part of my 2025 plan. So definitely looking forward to doing that. And a book. I've been evading a book for a while. I always hated awards and a book. But recently, I've been listening to the calling about a book. And what I've started to do is make journal my thoughts and pretend I'm talking to my daughter to give her information, inspiration. And that's how I'm dealing with that. So hopefully, yes, a book will come out of that eventually.
Next question, Kenisha, and this applies to men too. What are some main causes for women shrinking themselves for others, playing small, and also, do you find belittling has increased over the years with the internet and social media as well?
Yeah. So many reasons society teaches us the language that people speak to us. It starts from home sometimes. It's not deliberate. You know, your parents are only doing, or your family only doing what they know, but it's the language that we're spoken to with as a man or a woman. And that, as I said when I started, as a child, you believe everything you're told. I remember when my mom was upset with me and she called me ugly. I knew she didn't mean it, but I held on to it. And so when the next person told me I was ugly, I'm like, well, that is justifying it. That's true because my mom said it, right? And it's the same thing with shrinking. We shrink because somebody told us, don't talk so much. Why are you always getting in the way? Don't you always, and that thing repeated, the more you tell somebody something, the more they're going to believe it. And so the language one, I was talking to a client today and we were working on noticing, first of all, the languages that we use to ourselves. When something doesn't go right, what are you saying to yourself? Are you calling yourself an idiot? Are you calling yourself stressed? What are you using? These are affirmations. Just like the positive affirmations that you intentionally use, the words that we're using when we're upset, when we're saying stuff, are affirmations. And if you say them enough, they keep showing up in your life and you're wondering, why is this always happening to me? Start listening to the language you're using to yourself and then also to others, and change it where it's not empowering and where it's not feeding into a positive version of who you are.
Words are so powerful, and mindset too.
Mindset. You're talking my language. Mindset. When I started doing work and coaching, I went in to get coaching for me. And when I started learning the language and the principles and the way of thinking, I'm like, everybody should know this. What I think converts to how I feel. And what I feel, I take action from that place, and that gives me the results. So most time we think that the feeling, we start with the feeling. No, we start with the thinking. So the mindset is so important because what you're thinking, you will take action. If you're thinking, you know what, I'm not good enough. I've never started a business. Nobody in my family have. By the time you finish, you've talked yourself out of your dream and you don't take action, right? And you give up, or it takes you longer to get that dream. But if
I've
you're,
had
yeah, go.
I didn't mean to interrupt. I can relate because I've had people support me, but I've also had people tell me you're too old at 53. You're not educated. You don't have, I have a college degree in law and security, but you didn't go to broadcast journalism. You're 53. You're self taught. You can't do this and that. And I've blocked them out because to me, mindset, you have to believe in yourself because you're going to get your skeptics, naysayers, and haters, or people who don't want to see you succeed. Also, people who are jealous of you because you're able to switch careers into doing something that's a passion, and they're stuck in a job where they're trapped.
Yes. And you are so right. And one of the other things I talk to my family, my daughter, because she's young and she's growing up, make sure you pay attention to who you're taking advice from, right? Because people are coming from their frame of reference. If all they've ever told themselves is, I can't and it won't work, that's what they'll expect from you. That's not going to work. They'll never encourage you because all they're doing is, I can't, it won't work. I wasn't born into this. I'm not qualified enough. And you have to learn, where are you taking criticism from, and make sure it's constructive, it's elevating you, and it's supporting you. I always say to people, one of the things I do with my clients is turn down the volume on anything that is unlike your dream. Turn it down and turn up the volume on everything that supports you to move forward. Because if you stay in a position where you're lingering with options and other people's thoughts, it hinders you from making progress, from taking steps, from having 10 interviews a week. Somebody
Yep.
might say it's impossible, right? So you have to choose who you're listening to and who you're surrounding yourself with, and the mindset and the thoughts that you are allowing and nurturing for yourself.
Reduce the toxic people in your life, even if it means family, friends, or coworkers, because people who are toxic are not good for your mental health and for your
No.
success as well. Evan's
Yeah.
got another comment here. He wants
Oh
to
wow.
know, Evan wants to know, every day we just got to be ourselves from the time we wake up until we lay our head at night.
Yeah. You have to. And what was the question?
That was his comment this time.
Comment.
This
Yeah.
is,
So
yeah.
thank you very much for that comment. And that's true. And it's a decision. You have to decide, because if you don't decide, the world will make it up for you. You start believing everything everybody says to you. You have to wake up and decide, today I'm going to be the best version of myself. Doesn't matter what anybody else to say. 1% improvement is better than anything else.
Step out of your comfort zone as well. And I've done that with this career. Is I wear 9 or 10 different hats, but I've done things where I was afraid or I was nervous, but I went and did it anyways. And the only way you get better as a professional or in a career is you got to step out of your comfort zone. And also too, you're going to make mistakes. And the only way you get better as an entrepreneur or a business person is to learn from your mistakes as well. That's part of life.
Absolutely. What did Edison say? He said, I've had 10,000 failures, but they were feedback. If he hadn't done that, he wouldn't have gotten to the light bulb working. We have to remember that for every person that's a success, they failed. They
Yeah.
failed. And it's through those failure they were able to acquire information that supports their next best decision.
Unfortunately, too many people, when they do have a setback, I don't like the word failure. I call it a setback. But too many people that have a failure or a setback, they kind of shrink and they disappear.
Yeah, they do. And I could have allowed that to happen to me. When I went bankrupt, partly from trying to be everything for everyone, people pleasing, which destroys your finances, your energy, sense of self. I had to move from pleasing to truth telling, to saying, no, I can't take that on right now. That doesn't work for me. That comment was not okay. You have to learn to develop these. Otherwise, you're constantly leaning into what other people want for you, right? And so you have to make that shift into becoming and standing into your own power. My silence, my people pleasing, my giving all, I thought it was a good thing, that when you give, you're a good person. But it didn't protect me. It just kept making me small and suffer more. So we have to learn to do what's good for us. And it's okay. I think I hate the narrative. When I just started out and I would talk about choosing you, people would get offended by the fact that if you choose you, everybody around you will be good. And if we go back to when you take, I know you've said you've not been on a plane yet, but I'm sure you've heard this. You go on the plane and they said, and they go through the instructions and they said, should there be any problem, you get the oxygen mask and you put it on yourself first. And believe you, the first time I traveled with my daughter, she was just under 1. And when I heard that, I was mortified. I said, is this man crazy? But when I thought about it, if I didn't put the mask on and something went wrong with me, what's going to happen to my daughter? I can't help her. And this is the same application that we have to place on ourselves, that if you don't look after you, you're no good to anybody. And looking after you means not shrinking, because if you shrink, you're not attracting what's for you. You're attracting everything that you actually don't want by shrinking. And that's where the change has to happen.
Do you also find with social media and the internet too, belittling has increased too of others?
Yeah, people are really good at that because there's so much to contend with. What's truth? What's fact? It's almost automatic that people will try to belittle your efforts. And with social media, because there's so many people on there, it feels like you almost have to do 100% more than, to prove that you are this person, this authentic being. Lately, I've put that down a bit. I just do my work, and I trust that it will attract who it needs to attract, because it can feel hard work if you're trying all the time to make sure you get everything right? And it's not about getting everything right. I put my message out there, and if I feel like, maybe you could tweak that next time, I don't worry about it. I'm still going to put the video out, but the next video I make, I will tweak it. That's my 1% improvement. I stop worrying. I'm working on stop worrying about what everybody's got to say, because if you worry about it, you'll never get anywhere. And people don't want to see you when you're getting up and doing something different. Remember, there's so many people living with unfulfilled dreams. So they're so quick to knock you when you're stepping out there and being brave. You trigger people when you step out and be brave, even when the whatever you put out there is not perfect. They don't know it's perfect. It's not perfect. You know it's not perfect because you've got an aim, but they don't know because they've never actually gone out there and tried, right? So we've got to lay down. I use this term, I post and go. I'll engage with people like yourself who is talking to me in the chat, but I post and go, because I don't want to get involved and get caught up and stop myself posting because X, Y, and Z may think that I'm over it now. So we really have to identify social media is a good thing, but it can be a bad thing if you allow it to affect your mental health, if you allow it to stop you from showing up as authentically you. And I know the term authentically you is used a lot, but basically it's just showing up. And if you feel like I'm having this conversation with you, I'm not putting on anything. I'm just being me.
Be yourself. And I was told that, and that's what I was told when I was doing camera work, doing broadcasting, doing this. Be yourself. Don't try to be somebody that you're not, and only compete with yourself. Don't compete with others.
Exactly. You're just trying to be the better version of you. And if we all focus on just being the better version of us and stop, if I've got something to say to you about something that I'm an expert in, I'll take you to the side and I'll say, oh, maybe try this. But I'm not going to come on social media and tell you you're rubbish for this and pinpoint this and all sorts, because it's not empowering. It's not going to help you, right? I always say, if you've been in the ring when it comes to change in life, if you've lived a little, to fix somebody's crown where you don't have to show everybody that you're fixing the crown. You know how to say, you know what, Chris, let's have a chat about how this went in the quietness of it all. And that's how we improve, not in public, knocking out what you've done, pinpointing any little errors. That's not helping. Yep. So I'd encourage anybody who wants to change their career, who wants to do something, go out and do it. You've got to let go, stop listening to the noise, because the majority of people that will knock you are the people that have never tried.
Complacency too. And I have to admit, for many years at my other job, I was complacent because the money was good, benefits, pension and that, but I was not happy at the end. And I know money is important, but it's not worth your physical and mental health. And to me, you only live one life. You want to find that passion. And sometimes you find your passion when you're younger, like yourself, or in my case, I was 47. It's never too late to start a new career or find your passion, whatever age you are at.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not so young, but
27. I say 27.
Oh, definitely not.
27. Well,
thank you. But yeah, you are so right. And I wanted to point out to people that normally when you get unhappy in a space, I can't remember, there's a quote that says that if you don't make a decision, life will make it for you. Right? So if you're in a place where you're feeling unfulfilled and you still stay there because of complacency or because you know what, it's comfortable here, some events are going to happen that's going to force it to happen because you need to move. You've outgrown that space. It's no longer serving you. Right? And these events happen and you're thinking, oh my God, how did this happen? And if you just take a moment and ask the question, what is this trying to teach me? What is this trying to say to me? You will learn to make different decisions and make decisions for you rather than being afraid because they laid me off or afraid because I've been made redundant. So many people get caught up and thinking it's the end of me. No, it could be the beginning of you. That change could be the beginning of you, but how you perceive it And the actions you take will determine the results you get.
Kedisha, are you still good for a little more time? Because I'd like to play one of your videos from your YouTube channel. How can people subscribe to your YouTube channel? I already did, but how can they find you on YouTube?
So on YouTube, it's Igniting Dreams. If you just go on there and follow and like and subscribe. I'm on Instagram as Igniting Dreams and also as Kedisha Taitt. And the same on TikTok, Igniting Dreams. Like and follow. Drop me a DM and let me know where you saw me. If you saw me on the show, I'd love to just talk to you and just get to know you a little bit more.
And I'm going to play this video from your YouTube channel. It's called Your Dream. Before it was really good. Just let me know if you can hear the audio. If not, we'll fire the audio guy, which is myself.
No problem.
I try to be funny. That's why I'm in radio media.
Okay, and you are.
1 second. Yeah, this it's called Your Dreams Are So Worthy of You, and it's a 4-minute clip, but I thought it was really good.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Wake up in the morning, look at yourself in the mirror, and think to yourself, I should be much further ahead in my life than I am right now. I'm going to share with you a story that can absolutely change your life. But first, I am posting a link to a special workshop that I'll be hosting that will give you the proven formula that thousands of people around the world have used to get unstuck and shift their results completely. It's completely complimentary. Simply click the link to register. Now, here is the story for you. It's a story about a woman named Tara from Birmingham. Tara came to a workshop very similar to the one in the link I just posted for you. And at the time, she was in her early 40s, married with 2 daughters, and worked a good job. She was an analyst for a UK health chain, making about 150k a year. And while the money was good, she wasn't happy. Tara was feeling very stuck and overwhelmed. Tara described that she had been feeling less at work. Over time, she developed a strange physical condition where she would randomly go into an anaphylactic shock. Before long, her condition became chronic. Her anaphylactic shock would send her to the emergency room several times per month. No doctors or tests could come up with an answer as to what was causing Tara's allergic reactions. Tara felt deeply discouraged, and so she started looking for answers. Tara attended the vision workshop and afterwards signed up for a coaching program. While in the program, she said, I think I know what I am allergic to. You see, Tara realized that while she was really good at her job, she felt as if she was leaving her soul at the door every day. She felt like her job was draining the life out of her. She said, I think I'm allergic to my work. And yet, Tara felt totally stuck. Tara was the breadwinner for her family. She had bills to pay. It was her responsibility to take care of her husband and her kids. Now think about a time in your life when you felt stuck. Maybe you even feel stuck in an area right now. And notice the thoughts that give you all the reasons why it's hard to change. That's exactly where Tara was. Yet because her health was on the line, Tara made a decision that something had to change. Tara continued to follow that proven coaching program, and things did change for Tara. She got in touch with what she would really love and decided to leave her job. Tara opened her own business, and her previous employer actually hired her as a consultant. And get this, they paid her 5 times what she earned there as an employee for part-time work. Now she owns several businesses. She has the time to be the mom she wants to be. She attends her daughter's dance recitals and creating memories with her family. And the best part is she hasn't had an allergic reaction since. You really can live a life you love, but few people actually know how to create it. That's why I'm hosting a complimentary webinar to share with you the exact formula how to change your results and create the life you absolutely love living. So the link and register.
Thank you for sharing that.
You're very welcome.
Do you ever
Thank you so much for letting me play this clip from your YouTube channel. Thoughts on the video?
Sorry?
Thoughts on the video?
Looking at that now, I am so proud of me because there were so many reasons why I shouldn't make these videos, why I shouldn't start the journey that I started. But I turned the volume down on the reasons why I shouldn't. And I look back on the videos I've created, even when I didn't feel confident about them or I thought something was wrong with them. And I listen to the people that I've worked with and their journeys. And it's making me feel proud right now. And I'm glad that you saw the essence of what I'm trying to do here and like that video as well enough to share it.
How much would you say you've evolved and improved as a transformation coach over the last few years?
How much have I have become, I have this freedom to allow myself to grow, understanding that there is always room for improvement, understanding that like the next better version of me is always in the next day. So whatever I do today, I can improve it. I've got this zest for life. I feel alive. I'm excited to jump out of bed. I think Michael Beckwith said the dream pushes you until the vision pulls you. And I think right now my vision is pulling me, and I'm so excited to share what I know, to empower women. My greatest gifts for my client is to hear them and see the transformation in them, because I know it works, because it works for me. So yeah, I'm loving life.
Kedisha, I'm going to put you on the spot here. What's 3 words to describe yourself as a transformation coach?
3 words. Powerful, unafraid, unapologetic.
Your coaching sessions, are they both in person or virtual?
Most of my coaching sessions are virtual, but I do have clients that require me to be in person. And so those are my VIP clients usually that I go to their location and deliver face to face.
On average, how long is one of your sessions?
1 hour. On average, it's an hour. And again, if they need more, my VIP clients tend to, if they want it structured around something that they want to deliver differently, those are done differently. But on average, they're an hour. Yeah.
For those people that are watching this show right now, live stream or later on audio, and they're a woman who would like to get a transformation coach, what's the best way for them to contact you directly?
So you can reach me on any of my social media platform by finding me at Igniting Dreams. In Instagram, it's Igniting Dreams Coaching, or you can go to dreambuilder.ignitingdreams.co.uk, and you can reach me there. I have a form that you can fill out and submit, and a member of my team reach out and book some time with me if you want to. But if you just want to have a quick chat, social media, TikTok, Instagram, you can direct message me and I'll respond.
Are you on LinkedIn as well?
And I am on LinkedIn, yes.
I'll have to look for you there as well. How did you come up with the name Igniting Dreams Coaching, and thoughts on branding and marketing too?
I didn't overthink it too much, because most times when people start business, they spend so much time worried about all the stuff. And Igniting Dreams is exactly what I want to do. I want you to get fired up about the life that you want to live. You got to get excited about, I don't want you to wake up and think, oh, I've got to go to work. That's not what I want. Even if you've got to go to work and you're building a side hustle or creating a new income stream, I want you to be excited, to be ignited. Your dreams ignite you, fill you with fire, so you want to jump out of bed and go do it every single day. That's what I want. And so, yeah, it was simple, the name.
What's it like to run multiple successful businesses as an entrepreneur, and and the importance of a work-life balance too, so you don't get burned out?
I forget
Oh,
work-life balance. I ask myself, what season am I in? Seasons are important. So, if you think about the farm, and I started looking at it this way when I moved to the country, there's a season where you're planting, where you're preparing the land. And then there's a season where you plant and you got to wait for the thing to arrive and you've got to nurture it, water it. And each season is going to require a different amount of effort from you. The plowing of the land is going to require a lot of time, and there's nothing that you're seeing at this time because you're just preparing the ground. And when you're reaping, it's going to require a lot of your time, right? To show up, serve your clients, all of that. And so somewhere in between, when it's not so busy, is when you find some rest period. For those who are starting up, you can't be broken resting. You're going to do a lot more work, and that's okay. But make sure you take some rest time. I don't think there's any work-life balance. There's finding time for what's important to you. I find time for my family. My daughter is coming home. I'm taking from next Saturday, I'm off. So it'll be family time for 2 weeks, right? I give them that and they know that. When I'm working, there's a sign on my door, say, do not disturb. Have a conversation with the people around you, say they know. I don't respond to emails, texts, or messages before 9 a.m. Set some boundaries. And this is how I set boundaries. I wake up at 5. I have a devotion where I'm filling my cup. I work out. And so 9 o'clock, when I show up, I can deal with everybody because my cup is full. In fact, I'm serving from my saucer, right? Because my cup is full, and you got to do that every day. And I learned that from going hard before, not filling my cup and expecting to show up with substance when it's all drained and gone. I prioritize me and I fill my cup so I can serve my family, my friends, my clients, and everything else that comes as part of my world.
and I'm guilty of that too. When I wake up in the morning, first thing I do is I go to my laptop or my phone, and you know what? I probably should wait an hour, do my shower, have my breakfast, kind of get my mindset ready, and then go on. So some of the stuff you just mentioned, I'm going to try to take your advice as well.
And I'll be checking in on you, Chris. Take it and don't
Absolutely.
try to get it all done in one go. It's like building habits. I love a book that I
It's a
read. Oh my God. 5 a.m. Club was what I read when I started. 5 a.m. Club. And I reread it this year. I read it in 2021. I reread it this year because I wanted to, tighten up some of my habits and practices. And yeah, it's just basically, you don't even have to read the book. It's look after you so you can serve those you're here to serve.
what's one fun fact about Kedisha Taitt and the United Kingdom that people might not know about yet? And who has the best coffee in the UK?
Who has the best coffee? You, when you make it at home. Who has the best coffee? I don't buy coffees outside. I use my coffee machine, so I don't know. But if I was traveling for work, I would normally go to. I'm not gonna say their name. That's not good. Make your own coffee is what I say. What's the fun fact about me? If you've never followed me, if you don't know me, I love to dance. I will dance. It's my happy place. It just makes me become alive, and you'll find me 6 o'clock in the morning in the gym dancing to some music. So I love music anyway, whatever music. So yeah, that's something that I love to do is dance. It's freeing.
What makes a good dancer, and do you have musical ability too?
No, I just have a little bit of rhythm. Just have to have a bit of rhythm, nothing else. And if you enjoy the song and the music and whatever, just feel free and move your body, and I like it. Yeah.
As we wrap up the show, what is next on your bucket list in terms of traveling?
Next on my list in terms of traveling, oh, that's interesting. I want to what's next on my bucket list instead of travel? I want to speak more internationally. So Canada was on my list of places I want to be. If I'm honest, I want to do Africa as well, because I've never been. So Nigeria, and I've got a lot of friends as well in those areas. So it's visiting the world where I've never been, including I've been to Jamaica a lot. I'm born in Jamaica. I've been to America, Asia, and just there's so much to see. And just remembering that the space we're in is so small. There's a big wide world out there with different people and different experiences. And I also want to test whether what I do and whether it can permeate the different boundaries. Does people resonate with that? I think we get some of that from social media. You get some of that consensus, but also being on a stage and speaking to people. How do I resonate with them? Does my story resonate? Will be a great experience worldwide.
Evan, before we wrap up, the show wants to know, does the UK have a Tim Hortons? Tim Hortons is a big chain over here in Canada and the States. Do they have them in the UK right now? Tim Hortons. It's a coffee and donut shop.
No, it probably will be here soon because there's a lot of American and Canadian shops here. No, we've got Starbucks and stuff like that.
As we wrap up this show, I have a new segment. It's called Ask the Host CDP a Question. Do you have a question to put me on the hot seat as we wrap this up?
Yeah, if you were, where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
Either being in a traditional radio station or continuing to do this with more advertisers and sponsorships and building my brand. So either continuing to doing what I'm doing now or on a radio station, which seems you can actually don't really need to be in a radio station anymore to do broadcasting if you have the right equipment. So I would like to be doing what I'm doing now 5 years from now, because this is a passion of mine and I love storytelling and learning from my guests, and just something I have a passion for. I love it.
Well, I wish you well. And if you dream it, you can do it. So I'm sure. And you're on the journey. So I suspect you'll only get better and better at what you do.
What is your favorite part of the upcoming holiday season? If there's one thing about the holiday season that you love the most?
It's really just, okay. The holiday season is coming up, but I'm planning for 2026. So I'm doing my vision board because I'm having a vision board workshop next week. My favorite part then is spending time with family where I'm not working, where I'm not switching on my computer to speak. It's literally no clients, no work. I think that's my favorite part. But once I've done my vision board, that gives me even more peace because I know what my plans are for 2026. I like to be prepared. So.
And Evan says 5 years from now, I hope to be retired. See, to me, the word retiring means permanently. I don't believe in that word retiring. You always need to be doing something that you have a passion for and you enjoy. The word retire means you stop living, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I think once you find what you love to do, you just find new ways of doing it, smarter, better ways. So you may not work 40 hours in broadcast, like I may not be coaching from my virtual stage, but I may be going into prison. I may be extending it to work with young people. So I think if you're doing what you love, you just find new ways of doing it as you age and get older.
Yeah. And finally, Kedisha, where can our audience follow you on social media, your website, and the best way of contacting
I've lost you there. So telephone number is 0788 070 4498. You usually have to put a plus and lose the zero if you're ringing me. If you want to find me on Instagram, it's Igniting Dreams Coaching. TikTok, Igniting Dreams Coaching, and Facebook is the same. You can find me as Kedisha Taitt or Igniting Dreams on LinkedIn. So any of those mediums, you can find me and I can DM you any other information that you need.
I want to say, Kedisha, continue success in your work with Igniting Dreams Coaching. And I want to say thank you for giving us over an hour of your time today. And you have an open invite to come back on this show or my other show where I do a monthly show called the Small Talk Podcast with my co-host Marlene Sharp. She's out of Los Angeles, and we interview people from the entertainment industry or anyone from interesting careers and stories as well. So I do 2 other shows. I do a football show during a football season, and then I do the Small Talk Podcast, which is once a month as well. But you have an open invite to come back on 2 out of my 3 shows. And I want to say thank you so much. And if I ever do get to the UK, I will definitely let you know.
Definitely. And the same for me when I come to Canada, not if.
Please.
I
And I
will
live
like
near Toronto, which is Toronto is our version of New York and LA. And
yeah,
Niagara Falls, Ontario is kind of like Napa Valley is in California with wines. And it's sort of like a wine country, but it's also like Vegas too in Niagara Falls.
yes, no problem. So definitely we'll make sure to shout out. Thank you for the open invite. And I'm sure I will be back here with you in one way or the other. Take care of yourself. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you for all the people that are live streaming and hearing me. Do reach out. I look forward to meeting you all. Thank you so much for having me
Thank
today.
you so much, Kedisha. And give me a little bit of time today, and I will send you the full video, the audio, and tag you in some reels and clips on TikTok and IG and everywhere on social media platforms as well.
No problem. Thank you very much. Take care.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. All right, everyone, that concludes my 10th show with 10 guests in 10 days. I'm actually going to take the rest of today, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday off as well. And speaking of that, my next live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, sponsored by barrycullen.com, is not going to be until Tuesday, December 9th, 9 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time with my special guest, Tori Calmer. She's a multi-dimensional facilitator, spiritual mentor, and soul alignment specialist as well. So Tori Calmer will be on live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show Tuesday, December 9th at 9 p.m. Eastern. I have more guests and shows lined up next week as well. So I want to say thank you to Kedisha Taitt this week and to all my guests the last 2 weeks as well. So yes, yours truly is taking a few days off. So the next show with Tori Calmer, a soul alignment specialist, will take place Tuesday, December 9th, 9 p.m. Eastern, 7 Mountain Standard Time. She is based out of the province of Alberta as well. And as we wrap up this show, guys, I've got to head to the Cambridge District Humane Society to walk pebbles and some dogs. I am also still selling 2026 Cambridge Humane Society calendars, $10. You can either PayPal me, e-transfer me money, and I have 5 calendars left. So, and also the Cambridge District Humane Society, if you're looking to adopt a pet, please check out their website, cambridgehumanesociety.org. And as finally, Evan, I want to say thank you so much for Evan for watching our show today. Thank you to everyone watching live stream besides Evan and on our audio platforms as well. Live with CDP Sports Entertainment Talk Show is on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Good Pods, and wherever podcasts are available. And I want to say thank you to my 10,000 plus listeners there and 70 countries around the world listening to the show. And also I want to say thank you to everyone watching this on my live stream platforms, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram as well. And I want to say thank you to the Detroit Lions for beating the Dallas Cowboys last night, 44-30. The Philadelphia Eagles, myself, and the National Football League, thank you as well. Big win for the Detroit Lions. And the Eagles are back in action on Monday night. This Monday, December 8th, 8:15, Eagles Chargers, and I will do an Eagles pregame social media video as well. I hope everybody has a great Friday, great weekend. Enjoy the NFL games, the NBA games, the NHL, and we'll see you back here Tuesday, December 9th at 9 p.m. Eastern with my special guest, Tori Calmer, a soul alignment specialist out of the province of Alberta. Have a great day, everybody, and thank you to Barry Cullen Chevrolet dealership located at 905 Woodlawn Road West in the Guelph Auto Mall. Check out their website, barrycullen.com, for being a part of this show as well. Have a great weekend, everybody, and thanks again for watching and listening to Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, hosted by yours truly, Chris Palme. Have a great day, everybody.